name is Charles. I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer based in Bangalore, and Bharatanatyam is my passion, extremely passionate about it, and that's been my driving force till now. Deeply in love. It defines my life. There's nothing other than dancing. Bharatanatyam, not dance. I say Bharatanatyam in my life. And the dream is to produce artists who are organic or complete whole, not lacking in one aspect or the other, or chasing a superficial, dream. I mean, money is important, but the responsibility to the art form is very important. I began as a Western dancer in Bangalore years ago. Boys learning Bharatanatyam is unheard of. If the boys learned Bharatanatyam, then it was because they belonged to a Brahmin family, and even then with great opposition they learned it. So when I began, there were just 2-3, and now I think since we have made it cooler, 2-3 of us, there's a huge horde of aspiring young male dancers. But they don't understand that it's a lot of commitment, and it's not just 3-4 years, and you have to sacrifice a lot of things for it. At the tradition of good teachers, it's a parampara, right? So what you learn, you share, and as you share it, you learn it because you're revising it over and over again. And we always believe that the more you teach, the more you learn. But most soloists are very selfish people. Like my teacher is India's best dancer now in Chennai, Priyadarshini Govind. I learned with 2 dancers, Purnima Shok here, again who's trained in Chennai under Dhananjayans, one of Padma Bhushans. So these are big names and really quality dancing. And now Priyadarshini Govind is India's best. Kalai Mamini, the state award winner from Chennai. Nritya Chudamani, again a very prestigious award. They hardly teach. 5 students including me, and at a senior level for master classes. So initially it was that, but I think everybody differs. I love my dance so much, it gives me such joy, such happiness that I like to share it. Also, it's very tough being a soloist. It's very expensive, the art form is very expensive to follow initially. Your silk costume, your musicians, your money, your kacheri, you're bribing your sabam kacheri mamas or things like that. Because when you're a youngster, you don't get a slot. I get them, luckily. A lot of people have to pay to get a prime slot in the Chennai Margali, which is the December season, right? So, I always believe that as an artist, you tread a very thin line. It's very difficult because I'm having a tough time struggling to stay afloat as a dancer. Because I never compromise on my costumes or my musicians are paid well, and I don't believe in teaching huge numbers for the sake of business. But I take students and give them my best shot. As a business enterprise, probably it would be nice if it could be a little more sustainable, but producing good artists. The minute your motive changes, it can't be just money. If I wanted, I wanted a fancy car, if I wanted expensive houses, clothes, then dance is not where I should be. It could be something else. But dance, yes, but we artists need to survive, and I would like to make money that sustains me. I think I want to market it a little better, like with a little more publicity, and make the motives very clear, because some parents are very, they know that good teachers come like this, not teaching like 50-60 students and their senior students, but probably first marketing, then a bigger place, probably better contacts. Also, if the school gets senior dancers like my teacher to come and probably work with us, work with the children, and big names do help.
Good faculty.
It would be great, a mentor, somebody to give it a sense of direction, because everyone says there's so much of, like my teachers in Chennai, and people who watch me dance say I'm going to be India's next best young soloist in the next 5 years, right? But I also think I have a responsibility of encouraging the next generation of dancers. So it's still dangerous. So it would be nice if somebody can give this entire, this thing what I have, my soloing, my teaching, my dream, direction, in every sense. The sustainability, financially, and I always believe that Bharatanatyam is best performed when you dance for an hour and a half, because the whole margam has substance. People doing 2 pieces, 1 piece, 5 piece, 2 piece, new choreography to excite the audience. It's good, but you cannot leave the traditional repertoire behind. And I get an opportunity to showcase all this. Like in Nepal next month, I perform and I dance. Mine is the only dance slot outside from Nepal. And the next artist is Hariprasad Chaurasia. Can you see the
connection?
The connection is so huge. I said, you don't pay me, forget it, because they said we can't afford to pay you. It's for charity. But to say that I'm dancing at the same festival where Hari Prasad Chowla is soloing and I am soloing, is I think the biggest gift. And but again, financially it's so tough. Anyway, to be India's best soloist. And my first performances are beginning next month, out of the country.
Where?
Nepal first, and then probably the UK. As a soloist, I got a lot of offers to go abroad, but I will not leave the country because I believe I have a responsibility to these children here. I mean, teaching abroad is a different thing. The foreigners are fantastic with their body, deep understanding of kinetics, of movement, but there's something that it's like a biryani that only a Muslim mother could make. Like Bharatanatyam belongs here, and the children have a sense of art, which I don't even need to teach them some things. I'm so occupied with dance and the art, I really don't give too much thought to other things around. But this seems like a great way of somebody who wants to come and just, it's like a hand, a helping hand. Somebody saying, come on, we're going to lift you up, help you out. So I think any help is good.